When thinking about creating a community, I want you to think about why someone would want to join your community. One of the reasons people join communities is because they enjoy it. If people are internally motivated, you'll see more long-term sustainable relationships made. There is also the goal of creating a community that has a good balance between people enjoying or having fun in your community, but also getting use out of it. Let's hear from Amir and Tali on other tips on how to engage with your community.
So a community is a group of people who share the same mission or passion and have the same goal, want to achieve the same goal. A community could be anything from a physical community that people come and meet and talk about something, all the way to an online community, and we see a lot of these happening lately. So first of all, you need to understand what is the need, what is the mission. A community is a group with a mission. So if you have a mission that needs the community, that needs the scale, then that's a good hint that you need a community. It's also really a way for you to achieve something. So think about, what do I want to achieve, and if I can use other people's passion to get what I want to achieve. Just know that it needs to be a joint passion, right? You need to work with them towards a joint goal. So first of all, you need to be very engaged with them. They're volunteers. They're passionate about what you're trying to solve, but you always need to engage. Be transparent. Tell them, hey, you found this bug, we're fixing it. Make them feel that they're a part of the process. In order to build a value for your community, you need to come up with 3 things, which I think are very important for every member of the community: growth, fun, and belonging. So if you analyze what are the aspects of your community that contribute to the members' growth, fun, and belonging, these are the 3 things that will create the value for your members and maintain them. Not every startup needs an online community. Many startups are just about user interaction, right? Mint is an amazing app, but it doesn't need a community. It has interaction, which is simple and intuitive and does not require a community. There are other startups lately that really rely on a community to be successful. Sometimes they rely on 2 communities to be successful. And it's really important, and it provides you with a scale that you don't have if you don't have this community. So a lot of the startups that need social interaction, a lot of the marketplaces, these are types of startups that really need a community. When you want to seed interaction, when you have interaction embedded into the app that requires a lot of people. So good examples for companies that need community are Uber, for example, a community of drivers. A messenger would be a good example. Google, of course, we have a big community, a Google developer community. A place where you have a marketplace would be a good example. So a good way to get people to join a community is have a good goal. If the goal would be, I want to make money for myself, that's probably not a goal where you can get a lot of people to join you, right? But getting people educated all over the world is an amazing goal. And you can really get people inspired and very engaged with this type of goal. A community of 1 person or 2 people is probably boring, and it's not really a community. You need to have critical mass in order to start a community. There's a process called seeding, where you have a call to action, or you hack into other communities to seed your own community. So think of it, there's many ways to do the seeding of the community. One of the things would be to go to another community and say, hey guys, we're opening a new community, why don't you join us? Another way is to go through social channels and talk about your passion, about the mission, and get people excited about them. I've seen startups that just have coffee and talk about a certain topic. Before they even start a community, they just say, hey guys, if you're interested in this topic, come to Mission Street in San Francisco, have some coffee with us, and we'll talk about this. Once you get people excited and engaged, you can create an online community or an offline community out of that. The way to grow a community from a small community to a big community is to think about the value for the members, right? How can creating a bigger community will add more value to the members? Some people call it the K factor, the virality. You need to think about what incentives are there for people inside the community to add more people to the community, right? What is the incentive? What's in it for them to grow the community? Some communities don't feel like growing, right? Some communities say, hey, I want to keep my community size small because I know everybody here. And that could be amazing, right? A lot of our Google developer communities are small because of that, right? They don't want 10,000 people which they don't know. But if you want to grow and if you want to scale, you'll need to build incentives to get people excited about growing the community. Okay, I think the key things with running a good community is treating your community well, being communicative, transparent, having a joint mission that is passionate for you and passionate for the community. Keep fostering a community. Make sure that you maintain the community, that people don't drop off. Big mistakes that I see startups do is they create a community, but they don't invest in the community. So I think investing in the community is very, very important. Take the fun very seriously. Take the growth very seriously. Take the belonging very seriously, and always think of how do I invest in these and how do I maintain my community. A community is something very, very precious, and if you don't invest in it, it will die. And getting the community the second time is like getting someone to fall in love with you the second time. It's really, really hard. So invest in it and continue and maintain your community. So when I joined developer relations in Google, I was tasked to create Google developer communities. These are communities of developers that meet on a monthly or quarterly basis to talk about technology. So the first thing I did was to source community leaders. So I came and I tried to find good speakers or people who are passionate about communities and just say, hey, I'm starting this community. The mission is to empower people through technology. Do you want to join me? Most of them said no. Some of them said yes. Those are those who wanted to actually work with me and to create this community, joined me, and we just had coffee and we talked about how do we create the community. So they started creating their own community, but the key was to maintain them, right? To keep them passionate. So every month I just went to like the best restaurant I could find in the area, gathered them together, and we just talked about cool stuff. So I created a meta community of my community leaders. They felt that they're empowered. They felt that they're amongst people who are very, very passionate about these things. And they feel that they belong. So I actually managed to get them excited about building communities for me.
Yeah, so community management. I think first and foremost it's about really understanding your users and what they need and how to connect them in ways that are meaningful to them. So for us, a lot of it was understanding that we need a moderator in every community. So we went and did that. Or understanding that we needed very specific guidelines because this is a community that's about sharing, and people get confused about what is sharing, what isn't sharing, what kind of things can you share, and we kind of learned that from our community and from our users as they were doing these things. Sometimes we thought, oh, this is okay, but then we got lashback from the community saying, that actually offended me. So you kind of learn it over time and you define the guidelines, and we realize that it's very necessary to have community guidelines that kind of explain exactly why. And once you have those, people will respect that and abide by that. So if they do something that's kind of wrong and you kind of tell them, oh, it's in the guideline, so they're like, okay, and they're not offended by it. The role of a moderator is just making sure that everybody sticks by the guidelines. So if they try to post something that's irrelevant or not family friendly or not sharing related, they will just moderate that content out and explain to the user that, because a lot of times it's not intentional, right? The user was just genuinely thinking that they could use this platform for this, so they just want to see the explanation and be referred to the guidelines.